Welcome to Inspiring Teachers, a show bringing you classroom tips, motivation, and stories from successful educators. Join Tavis Bean and Danny Hogger as they explore the why of teaching.
I'm Danny Hogger, and this is Tavis Bean. This is Inspiring Teachers. How's everyone doing?
I'm doing great today.
I'm waiting for them to
Oh, you're
respond.
waiting for them? Okay.
That's great. And today we're here just talking about 4 of our favorite tweets from the week and enjoying a little Earl Grey tea from Numi Tea. You can check out their website for more about their amazing tea lineup. And I want to thank our friends at ampeduplearning.com for their amazing resources that help teachers amp up their classroom. You can follow them on social media at ampeduplearning. Use the promo code HoggerHistory10 to save 10% off your order. From their Freck resources and escape rooms to the Hogger History resources that I made, there's a ton there that you will enjoy at ampeduplearning.com. So, Tavis, how's everything going for you this week?
Really good this week. It's been an excellent week.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, you and I were just sitting together reviewing our Twitter feed and taking 4 of our favorite tweets of the week. We'll want to do our first shout out. We'll get right into it today. Abigail French at AWFrench1. She's got this tweet. It's from July 14th, and it's got over 14,000 views of her releasing a snake in her yard and setting it free. And we talked about how it caught our attention too, because in our feed of resources, materials, classroom ideas, we don't see a lot of snake releases.
Yeah, it's unique. It is unique.
So
yeah.
Big
boy.
I was saying what would the takeaway be here? That's in the video. You gotta see it.
Yeah.
I was thinking that it'd be really cool if you were Abby's student to see something like that, because you see her outside the classroom, somewhat in the wild, somewhat handling nature, somewhat being responsible, but also doing something that like really captures their attention and their imagination. Clearly, the inner children of all of us, too, with 14,000 views. What does something like that mean to a kid that is somehow connects you differently to your teacher? Is there something that comes to your mind?
Absolutely. I mean, so often we put ourselves up on a pedestal as I am the teacher and you are the pupil. And when you humanize yourself, they see you as a human, and then the relationship, I think, changes, the way they view you. I like to talk about all of my experiences in life outside of what I'm teaching in the classroom to try to inspire them to have a breadth of experience. So often I've had the math teacher who loves math and talks about math, and I don't know anything about them other than them and math. But to find out that, your teacher handled a snake the other day and then posted it on social media, Instagram, Twitter, any of those things. And I think that really makes the students understand that you're a real person and that you've got a life outside of that as well.
Yeah, so we'll show you a little video of it on the screen here. Abigail, thanks a lot. I couldn't do it. You would have no problem with that, right?
I can do a lot of things, but snakes are just not one that I particularly enjoy.
Keep them away from all the hard wood equipment in your classroom as
Yeah,
well.
right. I think it was because I had too many rattlesnake run-ins growing up.
Rattlesnake Run-Ins is a great name for an album. Thanks, Abby, for giving us our first laugh.
Wonderful video.
And our first insight. We go to our next tweet, and it's from Katie Martin at KatieMartinEDU.
Yeah.
And she shared an image, hashtag the learning pit, about the power of productive struggle. You're going to see it on the screen in a moment. And why is this one something that caught your eye that you wanted to talk about this week?
Well, for me, as a student who struggled a lot in school, I felt that struggling was bad, that it was supposed to come easy. Mm-hmm. And if we explicitly teach our students that, no, struggle is part of the process. In this graphic, it's I think I know the answer, and then this is not as easy as I thought. I'm confused. And teaching them that being confused is part of the learning process, and that it's okay to admit that you don't know the answer, that it's okay to admit that you're confused, that you need to work hard at this, and then you're starting to get it, and eventually you get it. Great. That is the process of learning. And so often I feel like it's like, I just told you this. Why don't you know it yet? It's like, well, they don't know it yet because they haven't gone through the learning process. They haven't gone into the learning pit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. It's really solid. It's also a nice graphic because it's a slide down, but it's a fun slide down, which is a great little metaphor there. And it's a climb back up to success. and my class is basically a 190-day John Cena metaphor, that the brain is a muscle like anything else. If struggling is the same thing that's going to build it and make it stronger. Yeah. Those are important moments that we shouldn't take away from people. The struggle is helpful, can be.
Yeah. One time, I remember a teacher had me pick up my pencil with my left hand and then asked me to write my name. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you feel that? That struggle? Ooh. That's what learning is.
Oh, dude, that is so good.
Just remember that.
I want to do that like tomorrow. You should try that too. And in the comments, well, you've already done it.
Well, no, I haven't done it in a very long time. Like, it was done to me. I was the student, and I think I may have used it in a class a long time ago.
Let's both do it tomorrow and then see what the experience is like. You do the same. Comment down below on how that went, and message us at Show Teachers. Tell us what that was like. That's such a cool call. We should do that as a standalone little video clip. Yeah. Ooh, I like it. The best stuff is the stuff we should reteach to the next generation. Those moments like that when we remember them. So thank you for that. Super solid. Thank you to Tim Cavey at Mr. Cavey for our next moment. He posted a picture a couple of days ago on the 29th of October, and we'll show it to you. It says, "My 8th grade stepson is as clever and creative as they come, but he still loves to read Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and I'm okay with that. Because the last thing I want to do is force him to read an appropriate text that might kill his joy of reading." And he's got a picture of his kid with a Starbucks and a book. And like, good parenting there. A nice way to enjoy reading was to give your kid a nice treat that he can enjoy while he's reading. Mm-hmm. It's like a reward on top of a reward.
There you go. That's quite a drink. Is that caramel on top?
It also looks like a venti. I mean, cut it down a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. He's going to sit and read for a long time. It's all good. Right. Tim is a great guy from Surrey, BC, a big fan of education and podcasting, and it's kind of cool that he shared a personal moment of his family, and it's a nice picture as well of his kid reading. What do you think about this? I'll give you my quick thoughts in that I think a lot of kids stop reading when it's not required and then skip through reading when it is required, and it's sometimes lost, not by everyone, but by some children. So I love that Tim is letting that joy carry. It's kind of reminded me of being a kid, and I didn't read Harry Potter, but a lot of people did, and how many people started reading because of that was a fun adventure and became a community thing to talk about. What are your ideas?
Well, I look at this picture and then think about this idea. This child here will maybe one day be an adult writer of children's novels, and if he continues his love of children's novels into adulthood, that might inspire him to take that on.
Very good. I like that a lot, and we want to nurture that ability that can add so much to your life.
It's like the idea of grow up. No. I mean...
No, we have plenty of grown-ups in this world already.
Yes, we need to continue to grow.
To mature.
But keep that youthful energy, that excitement, that... it's okay to read Diary of a Wimpy Kid as an 8th grader or as an adult. So many teachers that I've worked with, librarians I've worked with, they've read all of the kids' books. As adults, they sit down and they read these books so they know how to communicate it with the kids. And so if he can keep that line, power to him. That's great.
Very cool. Thanks so much, Tim. And finally, Mrs. Gilchrist at Mrs._Gilchrist Tonya posted something from Aaron Lee Kent Consulting. It's a quick guide to two of her favorite things: amplifying inquiry and honoring agency in workshops. So this comes to more of our peers and our teaching, which is really what our show's about too. To empower learners to lead the interactive and read aloud, to create success criteria with learners, to invite partnerships to create their own courses of study, and empower them to then teach their peers. So that's from Aaron Kent Consulting. Thank you for allowing us to talk about this today. I think partnerships is the biggest thing that I've gained from being at the high school level. I was an island at my previous school. I came up with everything myself. I didn't share with anybody. Nobody shared with me. And it could get kind of lonely. It could also get, I like independence, but it really limited how much I was going to gain because I wasn't going to be introduced to anything that wasn't already mine. So probably helped me grow a lot the last couple of years. You're the only woodshop teacher at your school, but I know that you value the teachers around your school when they all have a good attitude or when they have growth mindsets, because you've been in places where that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, I've worked in multiple schools, and some of the schools we had amazing peer relationship among the colleagues, and then I've had ones where I felt like an island. And really in the places where I felt like an island, there wasn't a relationship there wasn't a tone of, I don't know, can you show me? Right? That wasn't okay. Right? Whereas in the other ones, I felt comfortable saying, oh, I'm not sure how that works. Can you teach this to me? So there's a tone among the staff that needs to be present in order for us to be vulnerable and say, I don't know.
Perfect.
And
it's the same thing we want from our students.
Right, exactly. And I don't walk around, I try not to anyway, walk around with the arrogance of, oh, I know what's going on. I much prefer the attitude of, I'm still figuring this out.
Me too.
And it gives me that freedom, again, that I've spoke about on previous episodes, to make mistakes. And it's like, oh, I never said I knew everything, so I screwed up. And
That's good.
Yep.
It's really good. And
Humility.
I don't want to ever get to that place either where I am feeling like that, because then I'm done learning.
Yeah.
And that's not a good place to be.
And that goes back to Socrates, right? The smartest man in Athens. He knew that he didn't know anything.
Yeah.
And everybody else was walking around like they knew.
Great closer, man. Great closer. We're so grateful that you joined us for this conversation and be a part of this show. Let us know what you want us to talk about in a future episode. @ShowTeachers on Twitter is a great way to get a hold of us, or down in the comment section down below. We hope you have a wonderful week and that you've gained from these 4 tweets. We thank our 4 friends, and we lock up like hands, because we're all fingers in a global community of teachers. That's a perfect example of a joke I would want to just roll back. It wasn't bad, but I can't tell you why it was weird. And that's our show.
Let's blow up this episode.
Thank you so much. We'll put it away. And we'll see you on the next edition. For now, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Class is dismissed.
Thank you.
Fun.